People who are waiting for interest rates to start going down, did you get back into the market yet? At the beginning of the year, people were saying how it was so easy to predict the markets, that you just needed to wait until the Fed signals it's going to decrease interest rates. Those who believe that, did you buy back in yet, or are you still waiting? If you did, what changed your mind? They're all still waiting for their T-bills to mature. I'm old enough to remember when 5-6 mortgage rates were at the low end, so I've been waiting 10 years for rates to come up to normal range. X200B. Anyone waiting on 3 mortgages to come back is gonna wait a long time. A guy I play softball with is waiting until the markets are better before he starts investing again. He said this a month ago. I adopted the boglehead approach back in 2018 and never looked back. No one here is going to outsmart the market. Sad reality is everyone is on the bull market train. When they drop rates, it is usually from disaster, and you will watch the markets drop like a rock. Investing noob here. Why is a low interest rate environment the best time to invest? Aren't stocks generally discounted on a high interest rate economy? If growth is small and confidence is low purely because of high interest rates, isn't that the best time to invest for someone looking for future growth? Never left. High interest rates are for my emergency fund, not long-term investments. Market timing is for suckers. My portfolio 95 equity is up about 17 over the past year, way better than T-bills or whatever. It's crazy how much time and energy people spend screwing themselves over by trying to time the market. People who try to wait things out, regardless of what that thing is, almost always regret it. I've got friends who have been living in campers for years waiting for prices to come down just to see rates double. I've got other friends who still have their money out of the market because they were scared when Obama was elected the market would fall. The amount of lost opportunity cost would have sped up their retirement by years, but they thought they were smarter. If you can afford it and it makes you happy, buy it. One day you'll wake up at 45 and wonder what happened. If you wait for the pivot, you miss out on the immediate gains from the pivot. I never exited and am doing extremely well. I did move from growth to value and consolidated to 2 managed ETFs. Yeah, it's so easy to predict the market, which is why so many fund managers beat the indexes. Oh, wait. Not sure, but I would like to figure out where my bogle chads are who just blindly shoveled their money into total market funds automatically. If you're out there, please take this virtual fist bump. 50 BTC 50 TSLA 50 T-bills 150 returns. I never exited, added more money and consolidated down to FXCAX and QQQM, with contributions, I am up 34 YTD. The 2008 recession taught me a lot. The main lesson that I learned was that you never get out of the market. However, for me to stomach that, I realized that I needed to invest for cash flow. That way when stock prices crash 50 I can get through it without going crazy. Because I focus on the cash flow, I stopped caring about short-term price changes, short-term being 5 years or less. So, I have been invested the entire time and I remain invested. I bought speculative growth, and profitable growth at the beginning of the year because some of the prices were so cheap I didn't even care if a recession hit. Since then, I've been putting all new money in ST Treasury and HISA. I've held what I bought but am not adding. Basically the opposite of what the consensus was. I think you go where the value is, not try to figure out what the market is going to do. Surprisingly enough, when you chase the best opportunity across asset types, the market eventually agrees with you. It's pretty efficient at squeezing out excess returns. I'm still crying into my 37 gains this year. I went balls deep on HI averaging in from mid-late 2022 to early 2023. I expected rates to have peaked by now. I never stopped investing the Fed, government, news, green, red, up, down, predictions, analysts etc. It's all noise. I just keep investing. I don't care if the market is up or down. I make big plays constantly. It's the best way to win. Most people say WWJD, what would Jesus do? I say WWBD, what would Buffett do? I can't stop, won't stop. They don't understand that the market is forward-looking and it's priced in. Historically, market doesn't do so hot when they do start cutting rates after raising. So, wouldn't recommend doing what you had mentioned. The stock market has been ripping this year. I feel bad for anyone sitting on the sidelines waiting for the right opportunity to jump in. If you didn't partake and go long on many companies last year, you missed out. Now that it's hitting resistance, you want to jump back in? I'd keep waiting till October. I got out over a year ago, knowing not to fight the Fed. My stance wasn't to wait until rates decreased, but to see the tightening show effects. I re-entered in November. Inflation report came back lower than anticipated. This spring made me second-guess myself, but I'm doing extremely well now. The biggest impact is I missed out on the 2022 decline, and was still setting money aside as if I were making recurring contributions. If your time horizon's 3 years, pump all you can into SPY and QQQ and don't even think about it. If we can have a worldwide global shutdown pandemic come back in a year, there's basically nothing going to stop things from rebounding after any recession. No. But I did shift into physical real estate with my CPA green lighting it. Bought 2 SFH last year now with tenants and closing on another this Thursday. Outside of maxing IRA and rebalancing into broad ETFs, went cash heavy into high yield account. Time in the market is more important than trying to time the market. IDGAF about rates, but you sound like a sanctimonious know-it-all. Never left the market. I try to avoid companies that are highly leveraged, but I guess if you were holding them that might be sensible. I loaded up towards the end of last year and have either sold outright or sold covered calls on 3-4 of my positions. Interest rates going down will not happen until the market kicks and screams that the economy is going off a cliff, and the market sells off every day to prove it. Then once the Fed finally blinks, it will be off to the races again. I bet we have a 1970s type market of big dips and big rallies but never going anywhere. We'll see. Everybody bullish till it goes down, our guy. I'm buying anyways, but ETF and big tech. Growth is difficult due to high interest rates. I pulled about 30 of my entire portfolio out, taking profit. I'm waiting to see if there is going to be a recession or not. If the Fed starts lowering interest rates, I was wrong. But I suspect it's going to stay up for a while, which should put downward pressure on stocks, so I can use that 30 to buy more. I stupidly started adding too many semiconductor and related stocks at their low starting a year ago and thinking I was too concentrated in that and IT I was, and it's not all, but I'm too heavy in them. But I'm not complaining at the moment. I'm very happy I did that. I'm a little nervous at the moment. I've been taking some partial profits and reallocating those in a more balanced way. Anyone have any thoughts? I kept investing into my 401k. I have a Robinhood that I cashed out early 2022 and focused on paying debt down while the market was dropping. I am slowly adding back money to my Robinhood in SPY, VGT and SCHD every 2 weeks while still paying debt down. My target is to be able to make bigger investments later this year, early next year, as I'll have a couple big debts paid off. I'm moving between countries and for tax reasons I sold my holdings. I still have an apartment and was thinking about what to do. In the end I kept the apartment and will put it out for rent and then start investing the money in the new country. I'm starting slowly and will increase weekly purchases as market starts to correct. I feel we are at some sort of tip here. Something needs to give at some point. I called the bottom when I finally gave in and sold off half of one of my major losers because I couldn't take it anymore. For a huge loss, of course. Like clockwork, it's up 30 since I got out. I know you were told falsehoods by people. If you don't understand that kinda stuff, just stay invested, my friend.